What? Understand I got a lot on my mind.
What's going on, everybody? Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics here with another exciting episode of Indie Breakdown. We break down your favorite indie comic book characters' power, stats, and abilities, and get them prepared for their eventual indie versus matchup. Got another awesome guest here today. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. Come on up to the stage. How are we doing today, boss?
How you doing today? My name is Alfred Page. I'm the creator of Chess, Pinpoint, and Blowtorch. Happy to be here and looking forward to talking to you this evening.
Awesome. Again, thank you for coming on. And so, yeah, let's talk about him. Let's talk about Pinpoint. What is? Give me a brief inspiration behind the character, and then tell me what it is Pinpoint does.
Well, Pinpoint is my character. Is my over-aggressive character of my team Chess. And one of them, he's a better part of the characters I like to write because his personality is really of a friend of mine that is an accurate personality when we was younger.
Okay.
So, of a friend of mine that used to just fight all the time, like always into something. I used to be like, "Yo, you gotta cut that out. We're gonna do something different." So when I started writing comic books in the early '90s, he used to act out the scenes for me. So he used to go and take. Okay. I used to take him in the backyard and act out. Roll around and stuff like that, and get him away from the fighting and the streets and stuff that we was into out there. So, through that, and that's how Pinpoint. That's why I like writing Pinpoint so much. And he's just really an over-aggressive character. His story is realistic to people that I know, but of course we added to the storyline for the comic book. But he's a fun character. He's over aggressive. He's all attitude. He's action first, think second.
No nonsense.
And that's what makes him no nonsense. Yeah, it makes him a fun character to write because you can write him doing anything. Okay. You can write him. You can write him in any atmosphere. He loves to be the star of the show.
Fair enough. So, real quick question. I know in the Pinpoint comic proper, we see a flashback. He's prior military, but what is he now? Is he CIA? Chess. What is Chess exactly, I guess? And then what is his position specifically within?
Chess is a personal and gender strike team.
Okay.
That works for a person named Avery Davis. So they're not government, they're contracted.
Okay.
So Pinpoint used to be Army, Sniper Army. Now he's the gun maniac on the chess team.
The gun maniac.
The gun maniac, because his backstory is when he was younger, he was getting into trouble in Brooklyn, New York. He's from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
And his father was like, "Well, I want to take you out. I gotta get you off the streets." And so he started taking him to a shooting range every weekend. Better him shooting a gun at a shooting range than being in the streets doing it. And he got addicted to that. So every weekend as a kid, he got addicted to that. And he's going to the shooting range, started training all the guns in the shooting range. And he got out of high school, went to the U.S. Army. He went to the U.S. Army, and of course that talent. Now he's talented with the guns. Grew, became a sniper. But he always had that attitude and the aggressive attitude, and that was kind of working against him. So when Avery's building the chess team, and he asked Pinpoint to join, it's a better position for him because now his aggression is a bonus than a negative.
Okay. So with that being said, you said that basically from a young age he was going to the shooting range, stuff like that. What was that age range again, and how old is he now?
I would say now in the pages he's in his maybe mid-20s, and and a shooting range. I would say began high school, so maybe like 15, something like that, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So definitely no slouch. Good decade plus with it, and just had an obsession with it and got really good. So okay, we do see in those first pages of Pinpoint where he's being interrogated, he's getting tortured. Obviously, from what we saw in those first couple pages, he wasn't giving up no information. So definitely a durability
No.
feat. Can we talk a little bit more of what he can take? Because I'm assuming he is a normal guy, but just he's got that military background, he's got that battle experience. It really hardened. Life has hardened him to such a degree. What is kind of his upper limits of durability, I guess, in regards to, like, again, that interrogation scene? How much can he take?
As much as a person in peak condition could take. I mean, he doesn't have no
Okay.
superpowers or anything like that. He's not enhanced in any way.
Right.
He's
So
just
let's say.
he's
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Go ahead.
oh yeah. So yeah, he's not enhanced in any way. So the amount of pain can handle is the amount of pain that a person in peak physical condition can handle.
Okay. Would we be able to compare? Well, because if I'm going to bring a mainstream person up, a peak physical condition, somebody that definitely come into conversation is someone like Batman, right? He's not necessarily an enhanced
Yeah.
individual, but of course we see him surviving some pretty heavy feats, right? Would we be able to safely say he's somewhere at that limit, somewhere under that? I would have said Cap, but of
Yeah.
course,
Well,
obviously, that super soldier
he's
serum
not
kind of
martial
makes him
arts trained
enhanced.
like a Batman. Yeah, he's not martial arts trained like a Batman. He's more like
Mhm.
me. I would compare him to a Punisher. Like he's a brute.
Punisher, yeah.
His fighting style.
Okay.
His fighting style is more brute. Like Batman's trained and his body's trained in a certain way. Pinpoint's a young Mike Tyson. He's a fighter. So even though he does have some,
Okay.
he does have military training that includes
Mhm.
some martial arts. He's not a martial artist. He's more like a dirty
He's a
fighter.
brawler.
All right.
Okay. So that was a good comparison. I don't know why Punisher did not pop in my head initially. So okay, now back to the durability in that regard. We've seen in every form of media Punisher, right? This dude is surviving some crazy, crazy attacks, right? Again, getting shot at with arrows, bullets, getting stabbed up and stuff like that. Um, I know, of course, he's a regular guy and stuff like that, but what is kind of that upper limit that we've seen him get throughout the story of Chess and Pinpoint and all of that? What is kind of the most intense thing Pinpoint has walked away from?
I would say later in his solo run when he goes to this island where he has to blend in with these criminals to look for a past operative comrade that he served with. He gets tested pretty hard because he gets electrocuted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He gets into they jump him and he gets into a lot of physical confrontation later on in the issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he had that be the limit that he has. And on during Chess, he always jumps out first. So he's very physical. He likes the physical action. Not to say that he could punch through walls or stuff like that, but he doesn't mind the rumble and getting into the mix of a hard fight.
Okay. So would we be able to say in these type of situations, we've got he's kind of like Rambo almost, in regards to resourcefulness and all of that as well, correct?
I'll call him Rambo, Commando, that type of action, right?
Okay. So in regards to stealth, right? I'm assuming as an operative of Chess, obviously everybody has their own speciality, right? As a sniper, I know he's a sniper and all that other stuff, but of course in Pinpoint we saw him on the ground, front and center. When he needs to sneak around, how effective is he, and how quickly, I guess, does things turn into an all-out firefight, or does it even get to that point if he doesn't want it to be?
He is not the stealth guy in the team.
Fair enough.
Pinpoint loud, boisterous, and has an aggressive approach, as you see at the last pages of Pinpoint.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be known. He wants you to know he's there. He's not. I have to say that if during the in the pages of Pinpoint, he's more aggressive.
Okay.
He's by himself. He wants you to know he's there. He wants to make a scene. He wants your attention. In the pages of Chess, he's not as upfront because he's the sniper. So he's always in the distance. Like when they right. When he plays a role with the team, he plays a role. So his role in the team is to be in the distance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You had somebody else that goes up front. You know, got other members that go up front. Pinpoint's position is to go to the side
Mm-hmm.
and have a vision. You know, a sniper vision from the side to clear the path or back up whoever's going in. So
Okay.
during the team, he has a position by himself in his own series. He's no stealth. He's coming straight in the front door.
Okay. Now, although he's boisterous like this, I'm curious to know. So obviously, we see what happens at Pinpoint. He's like he made himself known and all that other stuff. But we, of course, this is sort of a flashback midway through or partway through the story because we saw the results of his decision. Is him getting captured? Was that part of the plan to draw out the enemy, or was he not thinking ahead?
Mm-mm.
And got him didn't expect to get captured or jumped or what have you.
Yeah, getting captured was not part of his plan.
Okay.
Doesn't stop him from being over arrogant, but you know, he went to the island to sneak in, to blend in with the criminal element that's on this particular island to find his friend.
Mhm.
But as you see later on, in issue 2 or issue 3, his friend's not really his friend no more. So that ends up getting him put into a position that you see in the flashback of the first
Okay.
issue.
Okay. And so,
So for that, you have to, you know, go further into the story and see how that works out for him. But yeah, that getting captured wasn't part of his plan. It just didn't change his attitude.
okay. So, so he knows how to play both sides. Just when he's by himself, he's a little bit more reckless, and that's how he ended up getting captured. Now, although he's in this particular situation, he did seem very confident in getting out. So is he strong enough to rip through those restraints and basically just kind of just go full again Rambo commando on these guys right after, or does he need time to go and recuperate and then jump back into the action? How does Pinpoint kind of stand up against what's happening to him in that issue?
He does get out those ropes. He
Okay.
does get out those ropes, and he did put something in plan to help him, a little leverage to how he got out the ropes and how
Okay.
he dealt with the circumstance that he got out of. And I don't want to give that away to the people that's going to read. I got the Pinpoint trade coming out for
Okay.
next year, so I want people to read into that. But
Okay.
he did do something to set off the leverage, and then he did pop out the ropes, and then you know,
Okay.
and then act on that leverage.
So prior to jumping in, he was definitely resourceful enough to come up with a plan in case he did
Oh
get
yeah. He
captured.
said
Okay.
he set himself up something to help him along the lines of getting out and taking over the situation.
Okay. So
So he's a thinker too.
well, I'm gonna
Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying he's not. I mean, he's not just a brute. He's a thinker too. You know.
Okay.
But yeah. His attitude, his aggressiveness gets him over. So
Okay. Now, of course, based on his name, we can assume that I guess sniping is where he shines the most. Is that correct?
his talent with shooting is where he shines the most.
Okay.
So like he's the only shooter on the team.
Okay.
So you know, yeah, he's a trained sniper. So of course he could take you out from a distance. He also carry guns with him up close. He's very accurate shooting. He has a high accuracy with his shooting. He knows how to handle a gun very well.
Okay. So very versatile. Okay. So, okay. Now, you said that he's no martial artist. He's really just a brawler or anything like that. So, are we saying just other trained people can drop him, or are we saying like in regards to his ability fighting wise, regular people on the street with no prior training, we're not, gang members and the like, right? So obviously he's not
No,
fighting
I
them
mean
like
compared to the average person, he's more trained than the average person because he went through
right.
military training.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he did go through an army camp in military training, and it was and he had some grappling effects.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's not Batman or,
Right. Or
Karate
like you
Kid or
said,
something like that,
Punisher.
because I will compare him to a young Mike Tyson or something. He said, he boxes. He took military
Okay.
training. He knows how to grapple. He's not. I wouldn't call him an expert jiu-jitsu or something like that. But to the average person in the street, nah, they wouldn't fight. They wouldn't. I don't think they would have a chance because
Okay.
he understands. He enjoys fighting, but he fights calm. So
Okay.
if the average
So
person in the
prior
street that's
to the
not
fight,
trained,
oh,
yeah, the average
I was
person in
gonna
the
say prior
street
to the
won't.
fight, then he's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just saying, like, a person in the street, unless they're trained as well, then
Hmm.
yeah, it'd be an off balance fight.
Okay. So I was gonna say, so prior to him jumping into a fight, he's boisterous or what have you, but in the fight, very strategic in regards to how to handle it. Is that what I'm gathering?
Yeah,
Or very
yeah, he's a
calm,
dirty
cool, calm,
fighter.
and
He
collected.
doesn't fight fair. Yeah, he doesn't fight fair. He bites
Okay.
ears. He's a dirty fighter. He's not gonna. You're gonna feel something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So like yeah, so he's very aware of his surroundings and very resourceful in the middle of the fight and isn't afraid to, like, if you're just doing straight hand to hand, there's a pipe sitting on the ground, he's gonna grab that and try to take you on, pretty much.
yeah. It's not gonna be a fair.
Okay.
It's no such thing as a fair fight with him. He's not gonna
Okay.
just say, let's go hands.
So next question is, how integral is the chess team to, I guess, Pinpoint story, right? So if he goes on a mission alone, right, is Avery going to be like, hey, he might need some backup, send chess in, or is he the one that's like, you sent me on this mission, I'm going to do this mission, I'm going to handle it by myself, I don't need backup type guy?
Well, the chess team, it's all a unit. So if he got into trouble, yeah, the chess team will come in because that's his team.
Okay.
Um, in his solo, when you read the beginning, Avery's saying, "Well, you always wanted a chance to show me you could do something by yourself.
I
I'm giving you
see.
a
Okay.
chance. I'm giving you a
Okay.
chance to do something by yourself because Pinpoint is not used to being on the team, and the team's not used to a person like Pinpoint. So it's always like a babysitter. Like he's the rude side of the team. So everybody on the team to Pinpoint is like, oh, this guy's a wild animal. You know what I mean? He doesn't listen. He doesn't take orders well. So that's why when you hear that conversation with him and Avery, I'm giving you a chance to do something without heart
Supervision,
or
really.
without somebody over, doing something. So show me what you can do now by yourself.
Okay. So, I'm trying to think. This is good so far. So, okay, we've got the fighting ability. We've got, and again, he's just peak physical, peak physique.
That's right. And he's a short guy. He's not a big guy. He's only like 5'7".
Really?
He's about the same size as Mike Tyson or something like that. He's not a tall guy. My friend that I referred to him off of was a short guy. So
Okay.
he's not a big. He's a short, stocky, wide guy. So he's not like Colossus or
Right.
somebody big. He's more a Wolverine size or something like that.
Okay. I in the back of my head, and obviously we're still finishing up season 1 of Indie Versus. Of course, that's on the tail end of the Indie Breakdown. And I haven't interviewed this gentleman yet, but in my head, I'm imagining Pinpoint fighting against Concrete Comics' Primate. I think that matchup would be pretty heavy. Are you familiar with that character at all?
I'm familiar. I'm familiar with Lions Star and Concrete Comics.
Yeah.
I know the Primate comic book. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I am familiar with it, and I am planning to. I do collect the Concrete books. I have Acolyte. I'm looking forward to getting Deja Vu and the newer ones, Laura and Primate. So.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of we use the randomizer wheel for the indie verses, but in my head of kind of a matchup, if any, at the moment, I think Pinpoint versus Primate would be a very interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah,
But
I don't know Primate's background yet. I don't know if he's enhanced in any way.
mhm. He's a ground
But
he's one of their ground level characters for sure. There are some
yeah,
aspects that definitely could use some exploring in regards to why he's so capable, and I'm very interested in. Well, obviously, not going to spoil anything for you, anything of that nature, but it's still in the long run would be a very good matchup, I think, based on their resources and
yeah,
all that other stuff. But that's a big what if. We'll see if that ends up on the randomizer wheel for this season and all of that. As we're
gotcha.
getting ready to close up, let the people know where they can find you, where they can pick up your books and all of that.
But you can find me at Project Chess, abbreviated C.H.E.S.S on Facebook. I have a current new comic book in previews right now called Blowtorch Bad Rose #2. You can look for that in previews. And the chess reprints are on Global Comics. And you're gonna just look for me in the future. I got a new comic book coming out next month, which will include Pinpoint, Blowtorch Pinpoint Aliens Passage, which is a one shot, which is an all out action one shot. It's just the attitude of Pinpoint and Blowtorch, who is the calm character on the team, or strategic, or let me think this first, or whatever. It's the two opposite ends of the stick, and they get caught fighting this alien invasion together. But it's more about that. It's like the odd couple fighting an alien invasion. It's more of a fun read, all action, and you get to see Pinpoint's personality and Blowtorch's personality clash. What makes it a fun read. So that's coming out next month. There's no backstory in that. That's just a one shot action comic book. And that be in previews next month on Page One Comics.
Okay. Oh, that's perfect.
And and that one you're really going to get to feel how Pinpoint is. So you get a full disclosure of how his personality is in that one, because I let it all out. That's the whole point in the comic book. And those would be the places to look for me at. Previews next month, Blowtorch, Pinpoint, Aliens Passage, and Blowtorch Bad Rose #1 came out in the stores. Bad Rose #2 is in previews right now. And we got some new stuff coming up in the year. So, always keep an eye out for that.
Definitely noted. Again, thank you for coming on, talking about Pinpoint, and of course, everybody that's watching, obviously, and listening. There's been another episode of Indie Breakdown. Definitely tune in and tune into the next episodes that we have coming out. Of course, this is going to be a weekly series. So definitely tune in so you can see who's coming in next week. And then also, of course, don't forget to check out all of our other stuff with Midnight Comics. So definitely check us out. We're everywhere, Midnight X Comics, except for Facebook and YouTube, where we're just Midnight Comics. And definitely tune into our Patreon, where we have our What If Wednesdays, community character creation nights, and so much more. You'll be able to get all these things and more really early on there. And thanks for tuning in. Remember, everybody, until next time, midnight is coming.